Alright guys, welcome back to yet another video, and today I'll be doing something that I really haven't done before, and that is a specific frame review. And now this is the Dope Frames 4-inch InXect, which was sent into me from Dope Frames, Mark at Dope Frames. I'll leave links down to his Facebook below. You can check out some of his other frames as well. That's awesome. Thank you so much for that, Mark. I've been wanting to build a 4-inch for a while, so awesome to check out your frame. And he uses Armatin Productions, and just let me take a little segment to explain that. Alright, so here is the Armatin Productions website, as you can see here, and sorry for it not being all loaded. My internet is totally crap. It took me like 10 minutes just to get this much loaded. But basically, it is Armatin. They are allowing you to use their site. It's not their actual Armatin quads, but it's the Productions version, because it allows designers to, as you can see down here, getting started with your design, to use their carbon fiber. It's the same carbon fiber Armatin uses for their quads, and it allows you to cut it out and use their factory, so you don't have to, basically you're hiring them to do this for you, and it allows you to get much cheaper prices. This frame, I believe, was about $60, and for a small developer, that's quite cheap, not some huge company, and you still get the awesome carbon fiber, the quality that Armatin has. And then as you can see, I'll just go over here to his Facebook. You can see he has a lot of different frames he designed. Sorry again, the internet's so bad, it took me forever to load this. But where is it? Down here, this is a 5-inch Legacy he designed, 4 and 5mm versions. And there's it, bare, and I don't think any more pictures loaded. And then just real quick about the camera mount that I was talking about, the FPV camera mount. I didn't know how it was supposed to go in there, but if you look at this picture here, I can't click on it because it won't load, trust me, but you can see this thing here. He actually wants the holes in the plate, you screw on the little camera mount that comes with your camera, and it hangs down from underneath. So that's really interesting and cool. So I'll have to do that. I'm not quite sure if mine came with the exact mount, but I will have to see. So that was just a little bit about Armatin Productions and how he makes his frames and who he is. So let's get back to the video. Okay, so now that I've explained that, let's take a closer look at the frame and the quality, and just let's go over and build it, and let's get into the review. Alright, so here we are on the main plate. I got the unibody version. He also has a detachable arm version available with a bottom plate, but I opted for the unibody since this is going to be a 4-inch build. I think it's just a better route, and it'll be stronger, easier to build, and I really don't think it's going to break, because this is 4mm thick carbon, so it is very strong. It's very tough. It's my first full base plate, and I'm gonna say that is crazy strong. So if you look up close, as I explained in the little segment, this is the same carbon that Armatin uses. It's basically allowing developers and designers to use their facilities with their carbon stock to cut theirs out. So as you can see, I haven't been able to find any imperfections in it so far. The twill looks super nice and clean. All the cuts, if you can see down here, all the cuts are just so nice. There's no burring. All the tooling was really nice. And on the edge, it's just really nice carbon. I haven't been able to find anything wrong with this so far. It's just, from what I can see, fantastic quality. And there's been hardly any carbon dust coming off my fingers, just a little bit. So I think the frames might have been washed and filed a little bit, because the edges aren't sharp at all. Maybe just a little bit on the bottom, but and all the cutouts here. And as you can see, one of the main features of this frame is called the InXect, because it kind of looks like a bee. As you can see, they're up here, this part being the head and this part being the tail or stinger here. And just one thing that kind of concerns me a little bit is this section. These sections in here, along here, they're only about 2mm thick at the widest there, so I'm hoping that they don't break off, because there is a standoff that goes back here, so you're going to be putting a lot of leverage on that. However, you also have the middle supporting it, so it's all supporting each other, and there's nice curves. However, I'm just a little concerned about that breaking, but it is 4mm carbon, and it's super, super strong. But, we'll see. I don't think it's too big of a concern area, but I will definitely be watching out for cracks there. And other than that, there's just some holes in the middle for weight reduction, and then these four are for your PDB and flight controller. And then the arms out here, you can see you have M2 holes in the middle, this cross pattern, and then the M3 holes. So it's designed to fit 22 size motors, but also it can fit 1806. He's told me that it can fit 2 screws for 1806 in there, so that's nice that you have the option. So let's take a look at the other plate. Okay, so here we have the top plate, which as you can see goes with the similar design of the bottom plate with the rear stinger style. So that's going to look cool once it's all built together. Really look like an insect, hence the name. And this is 1.5mm carbon, and once again the quality is just really good. I can't see anything wrong with it. So you can see, hopefully, it's just really nice carbon. Looks like we have some cutouts here for maybe your camera mount, and then here these 2 long ones are probably for a battery strap to go through, and then the other ones are just weight reduction and standoffs, as well as this larger circle in the back will be for your antenna to screw up through if you wish to do it that way. And it also came with this little plate here, which is, I believe, 1mm carbon, and I actually have no idea what this is for. Like, I can't figure it out. I can't look at pictures on his website because our internet is not working at all. But, you know, I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually. And it also comes with this here, which is a set of standoffs. You have black standoffs to frame here. And then you have some screws for that, and as well as some nylon standoffs, spacers to mount your flight controller. So that's nice that it comes with its own little set. So that's everything that comes with the frame here. So now let's take a minute and get it all assembled. Okay, there we have it all assembled. As you can see here, it's just basically 5 standoffs and 10 screws there. You can see it's just pretty simple, and I'm thinking this board that I mentioned earlier has something to do with the flight controller spacing. I'll show you this way, it's easier, because if you can see the 4 holes, this lines up perfectly with its 4 holes. So I'm not sure why, because carbon's conductive, but I think that might have something to do with spacing that and then your flight controller and then another standoff or something. Or, you know, added strength or protection. But as you can see, when the frame's all assembled, I think this thing looks fantastic. I really like the design with sort of the stinger out the back. And I also think this is going to vastly help in line of sight orientation. So if you want to fly line of sight with this, that will definitely help. You can see you've got a little cutout up top here along the a curved cutout to allow more camera tilt. And as I showed you on the site, I figured this out. My HS1177 did come with this little bracket here. It's a little bit different than the one he has in the picture, because he has a different camera. But the holes actually do line up. If you can see there, the hole in this metal thing. So basically, this will stick under here. It's hard to do it like this. And that'll allow my camera to sit there, and then I can get like 40 degrees up tilt, plenty up tilt. I'm not sure this extra screw is for the standoff, so you know that's going to be too long to fit in there, but I will see what other screws I have. I'll probably just need maybe a nylon one and a nylon washer there. And now the electronics I'm planning to run with this are some DYS, let's see, turn it so you can see it, SE1806 2700 kV motors. And now I'm also having some Emax RS2205 2600 kV motors, the red bottoms, on the way in to do some thrust test. I got a thrust test in to do some bench test results between these two, because I'm personally rooting for the 1806 motors, but I have a gut feeling that the 2205 are just gonna destroy them on 4-inch, but you know, we'll see. But I will be trying the 1806 first, and then probably swapping out for the red bottoms just to compare them in flight as well as on the bench. As for ESCs, I'll be using the DYS XM, or what are these? Yeah, the XM20A, not the XS. So 20 amp ESCs, pretty nice. They can run multi-shot. For the camera, as I mentioned, I'll just be running a Foxier, well, the HS1177. Once again, let's just show you here. It doesn't fit in like this sideways, so you have to kind of put it in through the back. And then they're probably just going to want you to mount it. Maybe something from the top hanging from here, I'm not sure. But then you can see you can get a lot of camera tilt up tilt on this. For a video transmitter, I'll be running the Dragonfly 200 milliwatt VTX from FPV model. I really like that one, as well as the X-Racer F303 V3 board. I just love those boards. And for battery, I'll be running a Turnigy Nanotech 4S 1000 milliamp hour 45 to 90C battery. Pretty decent, I think, for this size. It should fit on there quite well. And one thing I asked Mark about, but he hasn't responded yet because I just asked him actually, was about an HD camera mount, because it doesn't come with one. I haven't seen one on his store on Armatin or Facebook, but you know, it'd be really nice. It seems like there almost might be one, but I'm not quite sure, you know. But that's definitely something I'd like to see, because if I can carry an HD cam on here, I definitely want to do that. For a receiver, I'll just be running the FreeSky X4R SB. I just got a naked version without the pins on it. And for propellers, I'll probably be running some Gemfan 4040 tri-blades. Okay, now we're done with all the parts. Let's get some measurements off this. And now he told me that it was a 205 millimeter frame. So let's just line this up. And 205 for a 4-inch is pretty big if you ask me. So if I line that up, this is actually from my measurements, a 203, you can't see it, but a 203 millimeter. So he's pretty close there, or I'm pretty close. And let's see what the weight of this frame is, because my CMR X210 5-inch frame was 136 grams. So let's just check out this. It is a 102, I don't know if you can see it there, but 102 point, oh, it just dropped a little bit. 102 grams, and then with this little plate, I don't know I'm going to use that or not, so 103 grams with that. And it also does come with one extra screw, which is nice, as well as these standoffs to mount your flight controller. So, you know, not too heavy of a frame, but not too light, but once again with the unibody construction, 4mm carbon, super strong, and then you don't have the extra bolts and screws, as well as hassle of detachable arms. But if you do break one, you'd have to replace the whole frame. However, I don't think that's too likely with the quality of carbon here. And I forgot to measure this. I measured diagonally, but this is not a true X. If we measure it side to side here, it is 136 millimeters. If we measure it back to back, so lengthwise it's 136, and side to side it is 148 millimeters. So it's pretty close to a true X, but it is not you know, it's not obviously perfect in the X configuration, but that won't matter in terms of flight characteristics, really. Okay, so really one thing that I don't like about this frame is because of so few standoffs. As you can see, the distance from here to here is rather large without a standoff, and your battery is going to be mounting up here, and this is only 1.5 or 2mm, I think it's 1.5 thick carbon. So if you have a hard crash, your battery's right up there, it's going to bend a little bit. It's very stiff, but so you know it's really high quality carbon, but that is a point of concern if your battery's going to be sitting right there on that. But you know, I guess it's not too far, it's just a small frame, it makes it look far. Actually it's about 89 millimeters in between there. Okay, so another thing that I don't necessarily like is this big, you can see the standoff in the back here comes in the middle. While it does kind of sweep the frame together and give it a cool design, you can't really stick your FPV antenna straight out the back because it'll hit that, so you might have to use the hole here. But yeah, there we go. That was the review of the Dope Frames 4in InXect. But yeah, that was a review. There's not too much wrong with it other than this, maybe these stress points in the back here as well as in the top plate. And then the screws aren't as long as I would like them to fit to the plate, only about 2 or 3 millimeters sticking up. If they were an extra 2 millimeters long, that'd be fantastic. But other than that, there's not too much wrong here, and for $60 for this nice carbon and from a small developer supporting him, I think that's awesome. And he has a couple different designs. This is also available. This is the 4in InXect. He also has a 5 and a 6in InXect, he told me, as well as this is available in a non-unibody, so a separate arm configuration where you bolt together. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Stay tuned for more. I'm going to be doing a build video on this, and I'm obviously going to be building it up as a full copter and tuning it and flying it, and hopefully it'll become one of my main copters, because really there's no reason it shouldn't be. So stay tuned for more. Please subscribe if you want already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.